You really want both in an AV box, you know?
Yeah, okay, yeah, well, seems fair.
Do you want to try
Everybody
a bit
needs to have two vaporizers,
Yeah.
one mod and one
One's not
an
enough.
AV box.
No.
Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam, and before we start, I'd like to remind you all to please subscribe if you haven't already. Notifications on. We upload at least once a week on video production, audio and music production, editing, photography, gear, all that good stuff. So please subscribe with notifications on to stay updated on our latest videos. So this video is actually about 2 years in the making. We originally shot in October 2018 for our local music shop's YouTube channel, and unfortunately the videos never got uploaded, and sadly the shop is no longer open. However, their sister shop Waterloo Music in Yeovil, Somerset is still going strong, so please be sure to check out their pages, visit the store if it's safe to do so. Likewise, also be sure to check out Pitch Perfect Music Works. Darcy, who's one of the hosts of the video, that's his current business. He does musical instrument repairs, hi-fi repairs, and he's just an all-round fantastic guy. All friends of the channel, so please be sure to check them both out. So as I said, this video is at least 2 years old now, and it's been sitting on the hard drive for ages, and I decided to dig it out and I thought it was worth showing. So if you've got any interest in amp modding and the Fender Vaporizer amp sims and that sort of thing, I hope you'll enjoy. So without further ado, I'm going to cut to Neil and Darcy 2 years ago. Take it away.
Today we are discussing the pawn shop Fender Vaporizer amplifier, which was introduced in 2014. And actually really great little amplifier, and today's video is going to be about what is good and what is bad, and also what great modifications you can do to these amplifiers. I'll be helping you understand the technical side of it, and Neil here actually owns a modded vaporizer and be able to tell us exactly the huge benefits that he's had since the work has been done on his amplifier. So over to you, Neil.
What we brought in, so we got the red one's is stock, and this one is my modded one, which has just had the power amp tubes, had a pair of Philips new old stock power amp tubes, and a set of the 10-inch Vintage 30 Celestion speaker equipments. So nothing done on the preamp stage yet. No other mods like reverb tank, we'll talk about those later. And we're going through my lovely Daphne Deluxe Fender Nashville Telly, a few pedals which we'll put a little video of later on, and we've basically got just an AV box, a switch machine, and we're just going to have a little try of it and see what we both think.
I mean, one of the things, when Fender introduced the Vaporizer in 2014, it was brought out to sort of as a thing about the sort of the 50s and 60s space race. So as you can see, the physical shape of it, there's barely a square angle on it. They're very clever, and it's just got that whole sort of 50s feel about it.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the amplifier's design itself, It's fairly straightforward. It runs EL84 output valves to 12 watts with two 10-inch drive units. Now, obviously, as with most things, everything's made down to a price. So the individual cast chassis speakers, pressed steel chassis speakers, sorry, that are actually in the amplifier are relatively stock speakers and are good as the amplifier is out of the box. It's a great sounding amp. But since I've heard Neil's modded vaporizer with the completely different speakers in, immediately there's a great difference in the tone. So, for example, there's more bottom end to it. The amplifier itself is much more sensitive to tonal change. And obviously, combined with the better quality output valves, the amplifier is quite a significant step up from the stock model. But as I say, the vaporizer itself, out of the box, is a terrific amplifier. They are a great amplifier just to have a play around with and do some modifications with, as Neil's found out himself.
And they look just amazing.
They are. They're really bizarre looking.
I need a surf green telly to go with this one.
Yeah, you've got to have the match up. Yeah.
You've got your red Strat.
Well, I'll say I've got my red Strat here. It sort of matches it, but
Actually, and the red cable there.
Oh, and the red, yeah, I mustn't forget, we got a red cable. The guys here at Face Drive Media doing the filming for us, they made sure I had a red cable to go with my red guitar and my red vaporizer.
It's all got a match.
It was really good of them, actually.
Right, shall we give it a go?
Yeah.
Right, so starting just with a clean sound, and I'm going to just start with this one and then switch over to this one.
Just incidentally, just to let you know, the control setup on the amplifiers, as far as tone and reverb go, they are set up identical, but the significant difference is both amps are set at the same sound pressure level at the moment, but I'm on about half on my amplifier, and Neil's on
About quarter.
about 9 o'clock on this one, so there's a massive improvement.
Mine's the same.
Yeah, stick on the same level. Let's do an A/B between
Right,
the two, and then you're going to hear something completely.
So this is the modded
That's
vape.
your one, yeah.
This is-
So immediately, I mean, yours sounds much fatter than the stock amplifier, and one of the things, it is just the fatness, the warmth of it. It is a significant step up.
I think a lot of that's down to the speakers. They're much
It
more
will be
sensitive.
down to the speakers almost certainly. Incidentally, a speaker in general is the interface between your ears and what's coming out, and just changing the speaker on any amplifier, let alone a vaporizer, will make some significant changes to the sound of your amplifier. But I think what Neil's proved with his vaporizer is he's done the right thing to it, and it's just fabulous. I mean, I've not heard such a significant change in such a long time on an amplifier that's bizarre looking to say the least. So yeah, that's really
I might have to
good.
bring it back and do the preamp valves and maybe the reverb tank.
Yeah, reverb tank would be a
The other
interesting one.
I'll need it. I don't know if people know the vaporizer, but it's got this thing called the vaporizer switch, and what that does is bypass the volume and tone, so it's basically wide open, and it does sound, well, challenging. I think it's probably the best.
Yeah, it really belts it out. I mean, you have to either have a volume pedal or be swelling on your volume on your guitar to actually be able to control it. I mean, it really sort of blows your head off when you hit the button. So I don't know about Neil, but certainly when I'm using the red one, the vaporizer pedal sort of stays in the back and doesn't really come out to play very often.
Right, let's do a bit of distortion.
Go for it.
Turn mine down a bit. This is basically
So you're running a Ibanez tube screen, a mini tube screen,
a T-Setronic hypergravity.
right? Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly hear more definition in the top end,
But that's
controllable definition.
That's not breaking up as much as that one.
No.
Yeah.
This one's sort of going, yeah, I've had enough already, but even so.
In some ways, I prefer the sound of that.
Okay.
Right, let's just introduce a bit of fuzz now. So this is basically a Ibanez OD850 mini fuzz.
there's certainly more headroom in your one.
A bit smoother as well.
Yeah, definitely a bit smoother.
I quite like that. That's quite an aggressive edge to it. So that's
yeah. Well, the aggressive edge will be more likely down to the actual stock speakers within the amplifier. But as I say, that side of it didn't necessarily appeal to Neil, for example, on what he was looking for in his tone. But some people may say, well, no, I like it as it is. But I think what you've done, there was quite a significant difference between the two amplifiers. But you definitely hear the headroom up on that one.
I mean,
in comparison to the stock model.
The intention was to have it as a kind of as a sort of baseline of platform pedals, rather than rely on the. So for that, I needed more headroom, more clean, top end.
Well, of course, Fender amplifiers are renowned for being a good sort of front end amplifier for a pedal board. And I mean, the Vaporizer, incidentally, if you run pedals, the Vaporizer is a cracking amplifier as a front end for your pedals. Really good little amplifier from that perspective.
It's about time you got to go, I think.
Well, okay. So what am I going to do then? Straight in, or you want me to?
You got the pedal.
I got to play your toys, do I?
You got to play my toys.
Okay, so just so we're not biased, and we're just using a Telecaster, we'll go with a Strat as well. I appreciate it's a similar pickup configuration. Yeah, I was just going to go to an out phase now, actually. Doing that. It's definitely got more definition to it. This is quite soft, this stock one. Definitely better. Switch out again. Definitely hear more definition and more top end headroom with the modern one.
You get that kind of thump from the compressor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely. Yes, definitely a difference. Very musical as well. Love that. Yeah. Okay, so what else we got? Let's try something else with the
bit of tube screamer.
Yeah, I might actually use a pick for this one. Actually, I'm not a pick player generally, so. We have the same problem when you play your guitar through it, yeah.
So the breakup on that is quite nice and kind of you rely much more on what the pedal's producing. Just, there's so much clean headroom on that, it's very difficult to push it to the point where it's going to do that distortion. So you really want both in an AV box.
Yeah, okay, well, seems fair.
Do you want to try
everybody needs to have two vaporizers, one modern, one an AV box.
No.
Even though these are set up at the same level, with that phase, I can feel quite a bit of impact to the tone in the chest on your one. Yeah, definitely more punch than that. It's worth doing, I'll give you that. It's definitely worth doing. Blimey. So we're using a Moore E-Lady.
That's an E-Lady.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
And it does actually sound quite a lot like the old Electro-Harmonics.
Yes. Electric Mistress.
Yeah.
It's a duplicate. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
That's cracking.
Lovely.
That really is cracking, yeah. Actually, we got Neil's amplifier down here. This is our vaporizer we've been showing you. I've removed the back cover to show you the insides of the amplifier. These are obviously the output valves. These are the preamp valves, and these are the speakers. So on Neil's one, Neil changed the 2 standard speakers that are built into the amplifier, and he's changed his power tubes. Now, if you want to change the tubes yourself, that's fine, but there's a couple of things you need to remember. Number one, valve amplifiers have got lethal voltages in and about. I've only taken the cover off to show you what the insides of the vaporizer look like. But the thing with changing output tubes, they're changed in pairs normally. It is absolutely essential that if you buy a set of valves, is to make sure they're perfectly matched. Now, I'm quite fortunate. I actually do have an orange valve tester here, so if I get oddball valves come in, I can actually test them and measure them and match them up perfectly with that. Otherwise, if you get an imbalance, one tube will potentially die quicker than the other, or vice versa. And also, you're not going to get an absolute perfect sound or what the amplifier is designed to sound like. Say, for example, we were going to do Neil's amplifier. One of the things we do is obviously drop the chassis out. We'll then disconnect the speakers, unscrew the speakers, put the replacement ones in, do them up, rewire them back in, obviously keeping all the cabling tidy. The valves themselves, sometimes I just take one of these out and show you. This is an output valve. This is a groove tube EL84. Now, these pins on here are fairly fragile. Now, if you don't get the location correct into the socket, you can bend a pin. So you've got to be ever so careful that you actually locate. If I tip the amp back, you can see the location on this one is here. So there's a blank spot there where there's no actual pin socket. It's to make sure you actually put the valve in the right way round. So just pop that in like that. And if you've got one of these covers to hold your tubes in, put it back on again, because that'll stop them wobbling around. And obviously vibration from the speaker will cause the tubes to move to a degree, and this just actually secures them and keeps them in place. But as I say, once again, if you're ever attempting any work on amplifiers, please be sure there is lethal voltages inside, in some cases up to 500 volts DC, and unfortunately it doesn't let go if you're not particularly quick at getting your hand out of the way. So I would highly recommend bringing your amplifier into a qualified guitar tech or amp tech to do it for you. So, conclusion?
It's worth doing.
It was definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely worth doing. As you can probably tell, just by what you've seen so far and what we've done so far in the video, is the fact that modding these amplifiers with just the simple basic things, as in you know, changing output tubes, changing the speakers, particularly the speakers, that can make a vast difference to the tone of the amplifier, is worth doing. Now, we're not saying that every amplifier out in the marketplace has to be modified, because in some cases you actually spoil the original characteristics of what the manufacturers were aiming for in the first place. But if you've got a certain tone you're looking for, or if you're tone chasing, as they say, sometimes just a simple modification can make the world of difference on your guitar amplifier.
Yeah.
And I think Neil's proven that with his modified vaporizer.
Yeah, I've done a couple of others. I've modified those little black size G1Rs.
Oh right, yeah.
And that made a massive. Again,
What did you do to that?
It's just new valves and a new speaker, so Celestion little C15.
Right. Yeah.
Classic
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes a difference.
That's good. That's
So,
good. As I say, as you're probably aware, you know, manufacturers have a certain price bracket they have to build into. So occasionally something may have to suffer slightly, or they've got a completely different idea of what the amplifier should sound like compared to what you want it to sound like. So, but yeah, I think we've proven that today, haven't we?
Excellent, good.
Yeah.
Got somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So I hope you all enjoyed that video. We certainly enjoyed making it, and it's been really great to sort of dig it out, dust it off, and show it to you guys, albeit in a slightly different format. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and also be sure to check out Waterloo Music and Pitch Perfect Music Works. We may be back with more of these. We've got 2 more that may or may not be uploaded, so hopefully they will, but just keep an eye out. Please be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.